You go to the readers and the astrologers because they have skills. They are a soul who is in touch, who's been called in, who has, you know, well, you know what I'm saying anyway, right? So I don't need a pope, okay? But in terms of teaching energy, okay, so I use this card. So for me, there's automatically an association between second house and Chiron, even though planetarily there isn't, yes? Because Chiron is between Saturn and Uranus. But for me, I have a Venus placement. My Venus is in Taurus. And what really matters, this is where it really matters to get into the nakshatras and learn the very specific energies, because we need to know about Rohini, like I've said. If I no, I won't backtrack to that. Stay on course. And then my Chiron is just over in Aries. Now, what really matters, my sun is here as well. I have a Bharani sun placement and Chiron, I believe. I gotta double check that. I don't think I gotta do this. My Chiron is in Ashvini. My sun's in Bharani. Okay. Double check my pencil marks there, because I'm not going to do everything in this. Okay. My Venus, yes, just inside Rohini, first pada, okay? And this is the whole second house, right? This is where you're in your Page of Pentacles energy, so student energy, right? What you're going through, time of life, what you need to level up from, yeah. But it's in primarily my 7th house and then my 6th, but also my 5th, and then of course back into the 7th. Now the 4th comes back over here with my Chiron placement, yes. Okay, so I do a study of the energies. These are the placements. If we follow the line for my Venus, yes, it's going to start basically with the Ace of Swords in Gemini. This season, the tropical season of Gemini, okay? But I count it in. Then I have a 2 and 3 split. It's just right between, okay? And then I have a 5 and 6 split. So I have split energy in my Venus, or doubled up, like paired energy, twinned energy, yes, okay? Plus Venus in Taurus in my 7th, okay? This is clearly a huge factor in my life. And it ends with the 5 of Pentacles, which brings me back to that pentagram in the pentacle, okay? Where that's taking us. I'll get to that on the next page. Okay, so then now it's just on the verge. It could be a 4 of Wands, but it's heading straight for that Ace of Pentacles. So I went symmetrical here, and I put the Ace of Pentacles for my Chiron. Okay, now I don't have any split energy. I go from the 2 of Wands to the 5 of Pentacles and to the 3 of Cups. Looks good. It's a nicer ending, 3 of Cups, potentially, than the 5 of Pentacles, right? And then that's in, of course, 4th and 5th houses. I put the 5th closer in because it overlaps, okay? So that's how I tackle. Again, I wouldn't have such a grip on it if I didn't do this. Oop. Ching, ching. Oh, we have a candle out. Okay. Well, let's switch then. So we've got, I don't know if that'll make enough difference, but there we go. That one's lit, even if it doesn't show. So let me, yeah, backtrack. This is where so the Venus, just a close-up, Rohini Nakshatra, yeah, okay, based on the dates. Now, of course, my thing wasn't perfect to start with. I have to get more accurate about that. But that's where my Venus is. Okay? Right inside Rohini. Now, the thing to know about Rohini, there's a lot to know. Back to Vidya Mitra. Not that Vidya Mitra is the only place to go. But for getting this amount of work done in the time, it was a gift to me that my guides got me to this search result, okay? All to do with the serpent. And then we've got the master number 33, and we have club 27 with 27 wives. But the importance of what the qualities are of this snake. If I didn't know this about, if I didn't find this out about myself, I wouldn't know at all. Because it's my Venus. But everybody needs to know, right? Because everybody has second house. So this is why we need to embrace the snake. Okay? So go to Vidya Mitra and find what speaks to you. Because of course there's Kritika Nakshatra, and then there's Migrashira Nakshatra here. And that has everything to do with the Pleiades and Agni and Kartikeya and basically the 6 mothers and the 6 faces of, and it gets us into the however old or new the chakras are, but also the aspects. It's going to take us into that pentagram as well as the 6-pointed star. Okay, but this is the information here is some of the stuff. There's too much for me to go through, but this has everything to do. This is completely why this card kept coming through in the readings for this. Okay, so here we are. We have found the snake charmer. We have found the snake. Now the thing is my sun in Bharani. Bharani is the magician, okay, but no less is the snake a magician. But for me, between my Bharani sun and then this Rohini Venus, okay, but for all of us, that's what this card was about. This card was about, and the process was about finding Rohini in your second. You have Rohini, and you need to make your peace with the snake. So all the demonization of the snake has everything to do with your success in the world and your second house, and what you have and what you don't have. And what came through, because if we go back to this part of the page, are there any planets in house number 2? No. So I go through what it means. I did all of this work before I did all of this work, okay? This work led to this work. Because what it means not to have anything, all the aspects, all the planets that aspect that house. In so many quincunxes, I found there were some squares as well, and some oppositions, right? What does it mean? Okay, what does it mean? Which house do they rule? Well, don't. Which houses are in your Taurus? Okay, so we've got all that. Are there any planets in your Taurus? Yes, Venus. Okay, so then the 5 of Pentacles recurring. Okay, 5 of Pentacles recurring, which is also tied to my North Node. And so another card that was recurring to the point, and this is where I've missed. I found them last night and I sent them to myself. I just have yet to print them up. 2 readings recently from Jennifer at Soul Source Tarot also had the 8 of Swords. Okay, but going back months and months. Victoria, Tarot Victoria. Now, I just did a reading for Taurus and the 8 of Swords. It started off, I had a very magic read for Taurus back in May, I want to say. Says here 4 months ago, 4 or 5 months ago, but where she jumped in the deck. Okay, Clumsy. Groundbreaking. Groundbreaking. Okay, she did this. That's a screenshot of what she did. Okay. And they got me to give a whole speech about her before she came out of the deck, like minutes before she came out of the deck. Okay. And it's all documented. That's this reading. Okay. Now the question is why? What was the point being made? And then Victoria started looking for her once upon a time. Then there are my positions, right? My planet positions. And Victoria would go looking for her and would find her because at one point she did this to Victoria. And that's my son's birthday. She also, she's been working up with Minnow Pond. Okay, just recently. And then she just lay out, like these cards laid themselves out right when I wasn't planning on laying out Taurus cards. But, if I get over to this page. Is that enough? Let me see. No, because Victoria went looking for her at one point. And then went looking for her again. That's right. That's what I need to point out. And the first time Victoria went looking for her, Eight of Swords, speak to me here. Where are you? Between the Two of Wands and the Hierophant. Okay. So that's the Two of Wands and the Hierophant. Can I get it here? The Hierophant as Chiron, okay? In Aries, it's in the Two of Wands position. Okay, so Eight of Swords between my Chiron and the Two of Wands. A decision about teaching. Yes? With the Five of Pentacles. Then she goes, I had thanked her that time. Yes. Okay. Because I was keeping the Eight of Swords next to my computer ever since she did this trick. While I get my work done on my teaching, my drawing program. Finishing up the work on the first workbook for that and wondering whether or not I should, even though it's been 40 years of work. So she goes, just November 23rd, she goes looking for her again. Okay. And this time, Eight of Swords is between Five of Pentacles and Ten of Cups. Point being, now I don't have it. Yeah, I have it here. Here we go. Ten of Cups is your North Node. That's the card for your North Node. Okay? Now I've got the 2-3 split adds up to 5. Right? In my Venus placement. Okay? Over here is where my North Node is in Virgo. In the Five of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles as well. That transformation, right? In my 11th house, Eight of Swords. Five of Pentacles, Eight of Swords. Okay? And Nine of Wands. That's my North Node. That's my North Node. So it's going to progress whichever way through this now. Nine of Wands is also the first card that bore witness for me. It's the first card that pulled me into cards, and it was my advocate when there were no humans on Earth to be my advocate. So, and I know who is associated with that card, who is one of my guides. So automatically Spirit Guide, tied to writing. Of course, we have Wands, and Eight of Wands is a lot of messages, right? A lot of communication. So however the communication goes, the work, yeah? Plus it's your Wands, your inner drive, your main trouble that you want to make in the world, okay? It's progressing through these Eight Swords to these, with these Five of Pentacles, right? So that's the whole North Node. Now, let's get into that Pentacle. Let's get into medicine, shall we? And all the main parts of the universe. And where does that come from? However many peoples now in several parts of the world, but we have the Silk Road, the trade road, yes. And I'm going to give what I've found from Africa. I give Africa. So we've got a 5-pointed star. We have, now this is the position for what did I put in here? I'm looking at, gotta remember what I'm looking at here. The 9 of Wands over here in Sagittarius. What lines up with it over here? So I've got the 3 of Wands, the 2 of Cups, and the 3 of Pentacles, okay? So that's my story for 9 of Wands correlating over here. And then how do the 8 Swords correlate? What lines up in Aquarius as the 8 Swords position, right? And there I have, what do I have? Where'd the 3, 4 of Cups go? Did I forget to do it? And the 2 of Cups. No, the 3 of Pentacles, 2 of Wands. What have I gone and forgotten? 3 of Pentacles, 3, 4 of Pentacles. I think I opted to stick with 3 of Pentacles. So 3 of Pentacles correspond with both. 2 of Cups. Yes, these are the cards that correspond with both of these. Plus the 3 of Wands. Okay. But here we have, it's in Virgo, which gives me a 6-pointed star. So we have this reference over here with the elements and health. Because we have Ayurvedic medicine works with this, okay? Now, all of the foundations for Ayurvedic, because Vedic is an umbrella word, yes, but it predates the medical system of the West, for sure. Then we have the Gayatri Yantra with the 6-pointed star, which has everything to do with your body as well, and the systems and how everything's connected. Here we have a symbol for the Yoni, and the Yoni takes me over to my sun position Bharani, because that is the nakshatra. The nakshatra of Bharani is the Yoni. Okay, so I've got that connection to this star, to this star. Okay, and then we have the star because of my 11th house, because 8 of Swords is in the 11th house. That gives us a 7-pointed star, which takes us over to Magic 7, Lucky 7, and natural Tahuti, Nathan Howard, who's in prison on false murder and drug charges because he was speaking the truth about the origins, okay? African mother, the mother of all mothers, okay? The 7 refers to her. So, in terms of what path I'm on and what search I'm on and what it all means for my North Node, okay? And what this 8 Swords, I'm in an 8 Swords right now. She's doing her magic trick right now. Getting herself out, doing the Houdini thing right now. Because we found Rohini. And so this takes us into where we're going with second house. But, yeah, really, I should probably shut up now. But just to finish off, because it's in Sagittarius, primarily, right? My round tent, the space pod, that isolation, that aloneness, that going off in a whole bunch of different directions, interdependent with a tremendously different kinds of people, right? That's where I have. That's where I have. To know that. But you want to know that as a child. Then through the exotic outpost, okay? The emphasis is on foreign areas. Things that are not where I'm not from. To go out, okay? Aquarius. The emphasis that I answer here is noting that this is not a very insular second house. This second house is all about being out in the world, is all about being in the unusual places. Well, it is insular with Aquarius in terms of, but you know, in a very huge way, because Aquarius, I gave the hostel, right? And because you need lots of different kinds of people, and so how do you pinpoint? But you don't get to be a home. Well, I am a homebody, but you're not. The emphasis isn't going to be on the nuclear. The emphasis is going to be out in the world, in these different modes, right? Primary mode, the pod. But the pod gets me around. So now how do I use this information to successfully not just connect with people, but to look after myself, right? And that's where we're at. So I had to do all that work. There was no way to know those things otherwise. And not knowing them left me stuck. Completely, totally at a critical time. So it's very stressful to prioritize to get all of this done at the cost of like a lot of where you feel the push. If the push is to get into this experience where things are being stripped away from you, so it looks like you're not being practical, okay, you're actually doing the most practical thing of all, is to go deep into this magic. So I really feel like earth energy gets undercut by people's idea of what practical is, when deep magic is the most practical. Okay? All right. I'm going to take a breather, and then, yeah, I'll be back in a day or two. Promise this time, because we've got to get into Capricorn. It's coming. That outpost fast. Okay. But we still have to finish up the final week of Taurus. Okay? Much love. Thank you, thank you, thank you.